Hey, happy people. So today we are making vegan shawarma. We will be using portobello mushrooms today. I have a few in here, as you guys can see. And to get started here, what you're going to need is, like they say, the portobello mushrooms. But you want to make sure you have cleaned your caps out. Take the stem out, take all the gills out. Make sure you cleaned it and things like that. But basically, as much of the gills you can get out, because sometimes around the edges, trying to get the edges, you will break them off. Just like I got one somewhere here. This one, trying to get the edges, and you end up breaking them off. So as much as you can get off, sometimes that don't always come all the way off, but that's fine. So what we're going to do is I have some grapeseed oil here. So first I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of that over my caps here. Generous amount, because we're going to basically let these marinate. And I want quite a bit so when they're cooking they don't dry out. Alright, so now we have to put some seasonings to these. So I have I'm using my alkaline shawarma today and my not so garlic. You can pick both of these up on the website. I'll have it right there, and I'll have it in the description box, MrStayHappy.com, where you can pick up all your alkaline seasonings and condiments and sauces and things. So let's start with the shawarma first. And again, we're going to be very generous with this because we wanted to cover all of them, and since they're quite large. Generous to the table too, you know, right there. Table got to get some too. And the not so garlic. Now I'm just going to take my hands and kind of work this all in, kind of rub them all together there. Make sure we get enough oil on them. And as I go, I'm just going to put them in a Ziploc bag for them to marinate. So, I'll start with the one at the bottom here, because all the oil is down there. Just kind of rub that all in. Make sure you get seasonings all over. Set that one right there. There we go. All that bad boy up there. I think I'm going to need some more oil. So hold on just a second. Portobellos tend to soak up all your oil there, and I want quite a bit because, like I say, I don't want it to dry out. Just a spoon to get some of them seasonings on there. Make sure you get your edges really good, because you really don't want them to dry out and be all crispy. There we go. Alright, now I'm just going to pour the rest of this mess right here in my bowl. Alright, so now I'm just going to let these marinate for about an hour or so. Let them soak up all the oil and the seasonings. And while that's happening, you guys watch the intro. I'm going to go unbox my new shawarma machine. I'm so excited, y'all. Shawarma machine, shawarma all day. Anytime I want. So, watch the intro and I'll be back. Okay, so we're back. I have unboxed my machine here, my rotisserie shawarma kebab machine. If you guys want to see the specs on that, make sure you go check out the previous video of us unboxing, me and Happy both unboxing the machine. So, my mushrooms here have been marinating for over an hour. So, I've already taken out one because I was worried that this spigot was not gonna, spigot, whatever you want to call it, because it had a blunt edge that it wouldn't go through the mushroom, but I tested it and it will. So, first thing I have to do here is I have to put these little things on here right quick, I think. No, I don't. I'm tripping. Alright, so let's pour this out so it'll make it easier for me. They look so good. Okay, so now my spigot goes this way, so I definitely want it to go in my mushroom like that. So, just pierce them right through. Make sure your mushrooms have been marinated long enough to where they're soft enough, because if you pierce them and they're not soft enough, they're just going to break in half. So we don't want that to happen. I would put my smaller mushrooms in the middle so they don't dry out as fast. And just sandwich them between the bigger mushrooms. Alright, and look at that. So now let me go wash my hands right quick so I can put all the rest of this stuff on. Be right back. Okay, so now I have to actually set this up. So I do believe this is the bottom half here. And I need one of these little wires here to go on here so it'll hold my meat upward, my mushrooms upward. And one at the top here. Okay. Now, stick it in there. There we go. Put my top one here on. Alright, now we have to put this in this machine. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see this. Alright, so I set my machine on the towel even though it says countertop friendly, but I ain't trying to figure out the bad way. So, open this bad boy up. And we gotta put this in here. And there we go. So now, I'm going to turn this bad boy on. And it says for rotisserie, I need to bring it up to about 450. put it on rotisserie, and I'm going to turn it on for the full 60 minutes. But I'll come back and check it in about 30 minutes or so. Let's turn this around. Well, let y'all see that first. Now, you can see the steam starting to come off of it, but it does not rotate is what I noticed. Let's open this. Push that in like that. This is only the second time it's been on. I turned it on earlier just to make sure it came on because, of course, I need to make sure it worked. But, so it's going to smoke a little bit there. But now, I'm just going to let this roll for about 30 minutes or so. Alright, so now, that is in there, it's on. I'm going to let this roll for about 30 minutes before I really check it. So, I'll be back in 30. Let me go clean up my mess here. Okay, so now I'm back. It has been an hour. As you guys can see, it has reduced a lot and it has cooked my mushrooms very well. Let's try to turn this around to the front camera here. This is why I got this towel under there so I can move this thing. Alright, so can you guys see that? It has reduced greatly. There is a lot of oil and juice in the bottom there in that drip pan. So I'm just going to let this cool a little bit before I try to take it out so I don't get, 15-degree burns. Trying to do it, I got enough burns on my arms and things from cooking. But let this sit for about, 10 minutes at least before I try to take it out because it is extremely hot. Like I can feel the heat coming off way out here. So just be aware of that if you're also buying this thing. Heat comes out to about right here. So make sure you have enough space around it. Nothing else that's plastic because it's probably going to melt it. And I would not be touching it. And I would definitely keep it out of the way of children because it is very hot. And I think it'll take a couple layers of skin off if you touch it. So I'll be back in about 10. Okay, y'all, I'm back. My 10 minutes is up. And actually this thing cools off pretty easily. Like 10 minutes and I can put my hands on it now. Whereas earlier I couldn't hardly touch it. So now we got to take this out of here. I mean, like really cool. I can actually touch this, like grab it with my hand and pull it out. There we go. Take that off of there. That is a lot of oil right there, so just make sure you be careful with that. And I'm just going to set that back in there for right now. Actually, I'll put that in there too. Let's close that up. And look at that. Look at my mushrooms. Like, that is awesome. Now let me move this out the way so y'all can see from the side view here. Let me set that down. Alright, I don't know how well it's going to be because that thing is blocking the light, but look at that. My mushrooms are fully cooked. That looks like shawarma to me. So, now, I'm just going to cut this down here. Alright, here we go. Let's see if it cuts like shawarma. I don't know if my knife. Oops. Oh, look at that. It just cuts right off. You are going to have to hold it, so definitely make sure it's cool to the touch. Oh my gosh, y'all, look at that. Look at that. That bottom one is not cutting so well, but we gonna work with it. Look at those pieces of shawarma. Oh, cutting into my spigot there. Set that down because I think that's enough right there. Again, I want y'all to see that. Look at that. That is awesome. I like the way that came out. Now you can add some sauce to this now or eat it like this. I'm actually going to make me some wraps here, so give me just a second. That's good. Alright, so let's get to making a few wraps here. I have here my flatbread already cooked. I don't know if you guys can see that, but look at that. It's so cute. All that color in there, those bell peppers and onions. I have to make a video on how to make my flatbread here soon. So, get 2 of these bad boys and set them in here. I need a fork. By the way, my flatbread is spelt flour, brown spelt flour. That's what I use. I got here some homemade alkaline ranch dressing here. So I'm just going to line my bottom here with just a little bit. Look how thick that is. Ranch dressing, baby. Now, shawarma time. I'm just gonna taste one little bit here without any anything on it. Oh yeah, that's good right now. Ain't nobody gonna be mad. Look at that. Alright, and let me make a second one because Happy ought to be home pretty soon here for his lunch break, so this works out perfectly. I mean, y'all, look at my flatbread. It's awesome. Alright, so now I'm just going to add a few little vegetables here. I got some purple onion, romaine lettuce, some green onions, just the stems, the green part, some Roma tomatoes, baby, and of course my ranch dressing here. So I don't even know how to put these, how I want to start this. A little lettuce on there. Throw some tomatoes on here. Purple onion. drizzle a little more dressing on top of mine here. There we go. A few little green onions on there. Alright, and I'm ready to rock and roll. That's mine. This is pretty much Happy's. Like I said, he should be home in a few minutes. So I'm going to just leave his plain and he can dress it himself. Because if he's late getting home, we might have to reheat this for him. So let him do that himself. Hims. Alright, so I've already tasted it. You guys know already how I feel about it. I think it's amazing. My shawarma seasoning on there is good. I would say probably I would let it go for another 10 minutes or so, just if you are not a person who don't like mushrooms like that, and it's because you don't like the mushiness of it. Even though this is pretty good and it tastes just like, oh my god, like if you're having like that chicken that just melts in your mouth, just like that. But for some people who don't like mushrooms, I know the main reason they don't is because they don't like the squishiness and things like that. So I would let this go for about another 10 or 15 minutes or so. If you're that person, just let them fully cook all the way down. Pull as much juices out of it as possible. But other than that, it is great for me. So I'm going to take a few photos here. And y'all already know. Until the next time, y'all stay happy.